No, not you. It was Salty.
Hello, everybody. we are, this is going to be a fun little session. Vern is already experiencing technical difficulties, but we're going to push
And you're
on through
suffering.
it. Welcome back to our fourth session, finally, of Dethrone the Divine. So sorry about the long break. We had a lot of scheduling issues, people getting sick at the most inconvenient of times, myself included. And just like a lot going on. We now have the system set up for any time one of us is unavailable to make a session of this. We will instead play Monster Hearts and bounce over to that campaign, which, will at least allow us all to continue having a lot of fun. Real quick. There we go. Let me make sure that's going. Yeah. So, it's been a long while since the last session, but I'm pretty sure everyone still remembers what happened.
How could we forget?
Who would like to brush us up on it?
No, I'm gonna need it because I don't remember my.
Alrighty. I figured I'd give everyone a chance before I went into this.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so here's the gist of it. Before the end of the last session, we had a session. Before last session, we had a session
Technically,
where
yeah.
at the end of it, Ares got shot in the face by one of the other gods after we fought off a bunch of the undead that were led by one of the other gods. And we were like, oh shit. And so we started off last session with Eureka being like, no, and Ares being not dead. So that was cool. Then Nasa, Thome, and Otto, or no, Nasa and Thome are like, okay, we gotta go deal with this. And so we like start going over there to go fight him. Otto's like trying to build a big fuck off laser, or I don't remember what you built. You built a big
Railgun.
fuck off gun, big fuck off rail gun, yes. And Eureka was doing magic and stuff. I think she turned into a dragon at one point. I know she went into the shadow realm for a hot minute and ran into one of the other gods, the one that controls the dead.
We don't talk
And he
about
was
that.
like, "Yo, I'm on my way," and she like didn't fully
I am
understand what he was
on
saying
my
because that's not how
way.
he said it. Because he said it really convoluted because he's a weird dude because he's a god. And she was like, "I'll deal with that at another time." And then Nasa and Thome are over here fighting the dude with the sniper. I can't remember their name right now. It's not an actual dude. They're a person. It's they them non-binary.
Derise, the one who
Derise.
wanders.
Thank you. The one who wanders. Yeah, that guy. Nasa saw into the past for a hot minute, realized she's actually remembered that she has worked with Darius before. She still doesn't like them. Then they pulled out a giant mech suit from out of their ass, got in it, beat the shit out of us, dropped a nuke on us, and a bunch of other shit happened. The big mech fight, and then we like beat the piss out of Darius, got him on the ground, and we're all standing over him, over them. Nasa pulls out her side. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill him now," and Eureka's like, "No, don't stoop to their level." And Nasa's like, "You know what? You're right. There's been enough killing of the humans and all that other stuff. We need to show mercy and compassion." Then the other god showed up, picked up Darius, and was like, "You get to live this day, freaks," and
Didn't he
left.
like straight up restore Derise's leg?
Yeah.
Yes.
Eisen regrew that shit.
For fuck's sakes.
Also, I don't know.
I think that's a fair summary.
Well, okay. The only thing that I really take issue with is I don't know how what Eisen said was cryptic. He literally was just like, "Prepare yourselves. I'm coming for you." Like, I don't know.
But the way he said it made it sound like he was coming at a later date, not literally this second, and so Eureka got confused, and that's okay.
I'm flabbergasted you remembered what he said.
Hmm.
Soon has a lot of meanings.
Yeah,
Uh,
I guess. I don't know. My intention
I don't
was
feel like it's that, like, you know, Nace is still gonna yell at Eureka for it. I'm very sorry in the future, Neva.
well, in the future is going to be pretty damn soon.
Yes.
Because you all are standing there after Eisen has walked off and faded into the shadows. You are amidst a what is now a very war-torn landscape. Uh, crumbled buildings lie in either direction. To the left and right of you, back to front, there is a uh, crumbled old road that has just been blasted and irradiated. Um, so just generally not a good time. And the four of you are standing there, absorbing what just happened. Who is the first to speak?
Probably Thome then. If everyone's a small hesitation.
As
I don't think Nisa has anything that she could say.
as I mean, if you want, I can bring this to a different space of time where you guys would more be able to talk about it. But I would think directly after what just happened would be when all of you are the most emotional.
Correct.
I meant like immediately. Nisa doesn't like think of anything to say because she's stunned. She just saw Eisen for the first time in centuries.
Okay, fair enough.
Centuries, decades.
Yeah. Uh, as the sands of the now ruined, well, more ruined city drift over, Thome opens his mouth.
He steps forward and turns so that it is now him on one side and everyone else in front of him. He takes a deep breath as he slowly sheaths the sword. Before I say what is on my mind, I need to know. Why was he spared? Why were they spared? Half of my words in that sentence were incorrect.
Who are you asking that to?
Literally all of you.
Oh, okay.
He stepped so he could address everyone together, because he isn't going to single anyone out, even though technically Otto has no stake in this question.
Nasa. Well, she can't glance at anybody. She has no eyes. Makes a soft sigh. It was a moment of weakness.
He closes his eyes for a second, does a firm nod. I had expected you to not harbored those sort of feelings for your old pantheon.
It is not because they were part of my old pantheon, but some part of me that wished that I could show compassion to the enemy. And for the moment, she like turns her head to where Eisen had been. Seems it spared us. Though if I had known he was coming so soon, I wouldn't have even engaged.
We will have to go against him at some point. So, you had a moment of wishing to spare someone. He lifts his hand and motions to the general area that they're around that has been laid even more waste than it was before we got here, as we destroyed several buildings. And you let go someone who was able to push all of us to the brink and cause this much devastation.
Eureka kind of like speaks up for like the first time. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that we were also going to be executioner gods. I thought we were trying to stop that." And she just stares through you.
We can spare those who can be spared. If they had made any sort of atonement, a spark of something within them that could have changed. I would hope that I could see that. They had directly stated their wishes and that they would do it again. They think humanity is a plague, and they wish to rid it. For us to protect them, we have to remove the obstacles before humanity. This does mean the horrors of war will have to be spilled.
And last time I checked, and she kind of turns to face Nisa, isn't that how we got into this problem in the first place? Because something had to be done?
This is different, Eureka.
Just because you say it's...
We're not indiscriminately destroying the inhabitants of the planet.
Yet. Until it's necessary, right? That's what it's about.
Fuck.
And she walks away. She's doing her pissed off girl kicking the dirt kind of walk away.
Let her be.
Alright. I was gonna put that in the fucking quote books, bro. That looks clean as shit.
It won't happen again, though.
For what it's worth, I wish sparing was the correct option. If saving them, bringing them to honor and justice, was an option, I would love for us to take it. But we need to steel ourselves. The next time we see them, they will take up arms again. And I will cleave them through. Now let's tend to our wounded.
Nasa, her feet never touched the ground, but she was pretty close this time. As she gets up, or not gets up, but basically steps up onto a small cloud and says, "I'll meet you there then," and floats away.
When she leaves, he turns to Otto, like with a snap. I'm gonna assume the answer is no, but do you have any idea how to calm a spurned woman?
To be honest, I know machines, not women. I
Well,
couldn't even calm a child.
he just nods. Well, I'm not good with emotions either. This is going to be a day.
I am happy that we gave Darius the benefit of the doubt and at least tried.
I'm torn on that. I want to agree with you, but part of me knows that it could very well be our undoing.
Yes, but reaching new heights always includes trying and taking chances.
Maybe I'll come back around and see things how you guys see them.
Well,
War and being sealed and immediately being thrown into war again perhaps is lessened the man I used to be.
I imagine so. I definitely can't say I know what it's like to be you three. I haven't been around for long and don't know as much. So my say is a little weaker.
All of our say is equal. Just because you haven't been around long enough does not mean your wisdom does not mean your wisdom isn't sage. All right, enough standing here idly. Let's get back.
Alrighty.
Okay. You all head back to the Bastille. The most immediate threat that you now face, as a result of that battle, is most definitely radiation. There was an atomic bomb dropped just a couple of miles off from where, well, not a couple of miles, because that would be in the blast radius, but, you know, like, far enough away that the fortress wasn't caught in the crossfire, but close enough
Radiation
that
travels.
you're definitely going to deal with the sickness. You godlings should be fine,
Mm-hmm.
but the mortals under your care will not be.
Gotta get them out of here.
Get them out of there, or figure out a way to magic away an atomic illness, a
Well,
molecular
I-
destruction.
Otto's a
Well-
god of creation, so maybe he can whip up a little something something.
Hey,
Like a vacuum that just like slurps up radiation.
wait, hold on a second. Slowly turns to
Luigi's
Eureka.
Mansion vacuum. Just put radiation instead of ghosts.
Or we can go, what's radiation? Gone.
Just imagines it's gone.
I love you, Neba, so much.
What is
Oh boy.
I do my best.
Sick suck.
Well, if I would say that any of those of you with an established, justifiable means of assisting can roll either spirit or skill
Mm-hmm.
to figure out a way to keep this out.
Yeah, sure.
I can try to spirit up a problem.
Yeah, I'll work with
Yeah.
Eureka to.
What if we had a solution to this radiation problem?
I'm a guy with a sword. You guys got
Right.
that.
Oh man.
God, I forgot.
He's
We need
gonna,
D6s. Where are they?
I
Is
guess, use
there
wind to move people around.
is there a domain dice for this, or are we just rolling raw?
I mean, if you're using like your pre-established imaginations, and if Otto's using their creativity, I don't see a reason not to include the divine dice.
Okay, I'll not use mine, but Otto should. Yeah, I
Oh
think
yeah.
Otto to have theirs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I had and we're at 4+ now, right?
Yes, I am also going to. Wait, actually, no, those would cancel out. Never mind. Continue.
Okay, were you
Okay.
gonna ask for the ones?
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it. You're good.
Okay.
4 successes
Okay.
for me.
I have no fucking area to roll. My desk is so messy.
Clean your fucking desk.
Shut the fuck up! I just go. Oh wow. Okay, that's 3 successes, and then the divine die. Success.
Okay. Nasa, so your idea was to move people around? We're not quite at the stage
Oh,
of
no.
getting
She's
people away.
down in the. I was saying she's down in the medical area, just helping move people around with wind.
Okay, so not directly consorting with the radiation.
I'm not
then.
assisting with any of this. Nasa's fucked off. She's helping where she can. This
Okay,
isn't something she can help with.
gotcha. Hmm. You're sure you don't want to roll that divine die, Eureka?
I mean, if you think it would apply, in my head I was like, I don't know if it applies here, but I guess she is trying to imagine something.
Yeah, I think it would apply.
Okay, that is a success on the divine die.
Okay.
So that's 5.
So that would have been a slip, but because of that extra success, that is now a boost. So it's a close call for sure. But Eureka, you're not able to unmake things. That is kind of the biggest problem that Eureka and Otto both face, is that you are gods of bringing things into being. You do not take them away from it. However, Eureka does have this moment once once you get explained what radiation is. It's like, wow, that's really awful. Man, what if there was something that we could what if there was a way to counteract it? And suddenly the idea pops into Otto's head. At which point he immediately begins to work, and the rest of his acolytes, including a certain woman from our last session that was the first to stir people into action upon Otto's orders, start putting different parts together to create what is essentially, this is so stupid, and yet it would work so well, just a really fucking huge fan.
This is brilliant.
That
There's no way that that's how that works.
it literally like a vacuum on one end cycles through the irradiated air and pops it out the other direction.
Perfect.
And just continues displacing it. We'll
Ooh,
assume there's some magic involved with that as well. What's
I
up,
was gonna
Eureka?
say I had
In
the thought of
that
like,
case, I
okay,
can't help.
well, fuck, the air's still gonna go somewhere unless it goes up, and she kind of creates like an updraft, so any of the air that goes out goes up,
Yeah.
like above clouds, like atmosphere level updraft.
You're gonna mess with my stuff?
Hey, you didn't say no.
That's my domain.
You're not here.
To be fair, well, it's at your base, so Nasa very much can be there.
Forgiveness versus permission.
But also, if it's up in the sky, Nasa can then manipulate it.
Yes.
That is true.
Radiation
I feel
clouds,
like
but go.
Nasa would know pretty quickly if someone just shot radiation into her clouds.
Yeah, you kind of, like, as you're helping out the people down below, you feel really sick for some reason. Like, you feel ready to vomit. And you're like, that's not normal. Somebody's fucking with my clouds. So you turn around and you see the shit they're pulling. What do
She
you
just
do?
shows up behind them. What are you doing?
Oh,
Making the radiation go away, right?
By putting
Right?
it inside of me?
that was not our
No.
intentions. We were just trying to save the mortals from
Oh, I mean,
eroding away.
the goal was for it to go to space. Did that not? Did the?
She slowly shakes her head.
Sadly, that's not how particles work.
And then she'll like, now that it's up inside her domain now, right?
Yeah.
She'll just like lift up her hand and slowly push it away.
Just shove it up to the next layer of the atmosphere. It's gone. Or,
And
well,
just, like push it further away. Like, you could have just asked me if you were putting it in my domain.
I'm sorry, I
Like
didn't know.
she like coughs a bit as if she's like choking on something when she's like
Eureka's
talking.
kind of sarcastically says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you owned all of air."
Well, if it is
She
detrimental to my health.
sarcastically, not like literally, but she does say it. She's
Yeah,
also
and
not very happy with
Nasa,
some of you at the
listen,
moment.
you know what? Nasa's the one who listened to her though.
That is true, but then you immediately hold on. To be fair though, immediately you were like lapse of judgment to her face. So
She also didn't throw you under the bus and say it was Eureka's idea. It was my fault. I made the mistake.
he's having a mood about it. Okay, let her
You
have
know
her
what?
mood.
You're right. She's young. I get it. You're right.
Like, she's only a
Grumpy
few weeks
teenager
old.
stuff.
She's a few
Right.
weeks old. Give her time.
Grumpy teenager.
she's
Gotta
going
remember
through
that.
her
Nasa
second
doesn't
month
get that.
rebellion phase.
I know. Nasa doesn't get it. She just like kind of stares in her direction because she can't actually look at her, and then says, "Right,
The mortals are dying.
trying to save them." And goes back to the hospital. Stop poisoning me, please.
But this was the best way to save the mortals. Oh, well. And then I go back to doing that.
Yeah.
Anytime she feels like a dose of radiation, she like gets a cough and then like pushes it away wherever direction she's sending it.
Yep.
Can't wait for a point. It's just we hear from the medical bay, God damn it, from you. Get fucking out of this.
Eventually, after like a full day of running that shit, you, I mean, there's like irradiated country merely steps away from this space. You guys have to draw like boundary lines and stuff so people know not to step too far. But as long as you keep to yourselves and keep to your area, seems like it's gonna be okay.
For now.
So, you now know what the enemy is capable of. And you know you are also aware that Eisen has used up his entire stock of Risen on the North American continent, which theoretically you a lot of allows you a lot more leeway in travel and ability to speak with people, basically, to attempt to broaden your scope, as it were, obtain more followers. You seem to have earned something of a breather from that last altercation. What I want to know is, tactically speaking, how do you choose to spend it? There
Quick
are.
question because I forgot about it.
Mhm.
Is Ares dead or they're still alive, right?
He's still alive. He
Oh, yeah,
is
Eureka stays up.
severely injured. Um,
I see.
gonna be out of commission at least for probably a week. I mean, a bullet grazed his head, and he's very close to full on mortal at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not an easy recovery, but he will eventually make a recovery.
Okay.
And you guys will likely have enough time to do more than one thing apiece. We're basically at the overworld tactics side of the game. So
Gotcha.
currently you have multiple plates spinning on a certain extent. You could focus on gaining power through increasing your worship. You could focus on locating your next target before they locate you. Speaking of which, they've already located you. You could attempt to change locations, taking a defensive measure. You could scout for information of a more general kind, figure out what your enemy's moves are, what exactly is going on in the wider world.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that you guys could do. There are even certain mysteries from previous sessions you may or may not remember that might be worth looking into. Who knows? So, for simplicity's sake, why don't we make this a basic initiative thing?
I bet.
Everybody grab a d6. Just roll that flat out. If we have any ties, we'll resolve them. Okay, the environment has rolled a 2.
Yikes.
I rolled a 4.
I got a 1.
I also got a 4.
Let me go to my dice shelf I've got here. How funny would it be if
Eureka
it
can
just
go before
collapsed
me, by
on
the
me
way.
immediately?
So, Otto, Eureka, go ahead and re-roll since you tied.
Oh, I was gonna say Eureka should go before me.
Oh, okay.
I could go after.
Oh, okay.
All right then.
Yeah, I think.
Let's let's wait for Nasa to roll
Oh, okay.
first,
Oh,
just
okay.
to see if.
5.
Okay, Nasa.
Oh, the upset.
All right. How are you going to spend your first week in terms of tactics, Nasa?
She's still a bit upset with herself for letting Derise get away. She really spent all these decades, wanting revenge. Her entire purpose became vengeance. And right when she had her first taste of it sitting in front of her, she let it go and she regrets it. So now once the base is stable and it's not about to collapse under the weight of the injured and everything else, she's going to head out, begin scouting the area again to see, like, if there's a better place to move all of our people to.
Okay.
Yes.
Defensive scouting. Gotcha. In that case, trying to think of how to roll that. I think that would be trying to remember. There's
I just realized I don't have a sheet in front of me.
might, grace, aura, skill, spirit.
Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make that a skill roll.
Oh, we didn't level up.
Oh.
Did we?
We
We level up at the beginning of every session or at the end of every session?
At the end.
Okay, so we did level up last time. Never mind then.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody thinks they might not
I'm
have applied theirs. What's up?
Yeah, I'm still marked as level 3. Should we be 4?
Yes. Hang on. Session 1, Session 2, Session 3. Yeah, you should be level 4.
Oh, okay. I can do that really quick then.
Okay.
That's fast. I can
Okay.
do that while we're doing things. That's easy.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, Nasa, skill roll when you get the second.
How much are we allowed to? Oh shit! How do we heal?
So when we go to these overworld situations, first of all, at the start, at any point during the session, you can choose to roll a d6 and heal that amount. If I don't know if this is actually written into the rules, but I'm going to count it as your follower count increases the amount for which you heal. So if you have a follower tier of 2, you roll 2d6 and heal that up, and can disperse the points however you want between your will and your physical health or whatever it is. However, when we move to the tactics side of things, just heal to full. Whatever your max is supposed to be, just go right back to it.
Alrighty. Yeah, so because I did that. I think I was gonna add another big move, and I don't remember what that was. So I'm just gonna
If you want to
increase something.
Okay. You could also save it and detail it later, if you would rather.
True. I don't know. I also need to go back over my thing and make sure I did actually do it last time, or if I didn't.
Mhm.
Anyways, so what do you need me to roll for exploring?
Skill.
Skill?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. It is not remotely combat related. There is no reason Grace would be involved.
But it's the wind.
You personally
Can't
observe.
see.
You. Oh. Do you want me to make it spirit instead? Because that's the magic one.
Actually, yeah, that would be better. That would actually be better. My skill is a 1. I'm trying to talk you out of using that, please.
Okay, if you're sure.
Probably increase the DC of it.
Fuck, you're right.
No, that wouldn't necessarily change the DC. It would just change the results.
Oh, okay. If you find something
Right.
better than this broken tower, then
Fucking anything at this point. Okay, so am I rolling spirit or am I rolling skill, sir?
It's up to you. Either one works.
This is already going to be bad. I already have 1 failure, so it doesn't matter anymore. Alright, for spirit. Alright, well, that's 2 failures and 1 success. Awesome.
Okay. 2 failures, 1 success on spirit.
Yeah.
Okay. Wish that I had a proper writing implement. Guess I'll just use pencil. So
Pencil is a proper writing utensil. What?
I prefer pen.
But you can make so many mistakes.
Do you think I make mistakes? I get
pens make
results.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're right.
Whatever you say, Mr. DM. Whatever you say.
Second is third. Fourth. Environment. Fifth. Oh. Okay. So. One total success, and that's with Divine Die.
Oh, am I allowed to use my divine die?
If you're manipulating the wind to try to find things, that's magic, that's sky related, that's Divine
Right.
Dice.
Okay, I rolled a divine dice, and it's a success.
Okay. You get a slip.
Surprise.
And we'll worry about detailing that in a bit, just in case anybody else had the same idea you did, or something similar.
Okay.
All right, Eureka. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do for this week?
So, in light of how everything went down, she is kind of retreating into what she knows. So she's mostly, I think, her main focus slash concern is on like a mix of like the morale of the people as well as like her ability to instill confidence in others, because maybe to a certain degree she feels like she may not have accomplished that with her friends. So she's trying to like probably spread influence amongst who's there, and maybe from like a dreamer of mind perspective put her feelers out to the nearby areas to see like what might she be able to accomplish with that, but also just to, again, both herself and then those who follow her, to kind of like boost that morale and be like, hey, this is proof that you can do this. Like, you imagine it, you can do it. Like, I can imagine it, you can do it. Believe in me, believe in yourself, kind of thing. And then for people that might be within a somewhat near distance, to be like, we did that. We did that. And instill kind of that vibe into them.
Okay.
That's kind of her headspace.
Roll aura.
I do. Oh, I have aura. Okay. Just straight aura.
Unless you can think of how imagination and memory work in this.
Yeah, I'll just keep it a straight roll. I had 2 successes.
Okay.
Literally 2 6s and 2 1s. I can't make that up.
Oh, jeez.
That's beautiful.
Which is funny.
All right. Once again, leaving the resolution for later. Otto, what are you going to do this week?
If man, looking at our base, how like do you think does Otto think this base would last long?
As it is now,
Yes.
and against Probably not. You guys were
No.
toppling buildings twice as tall as this one in that fight.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, I'll go with Nasa.
Okay. Skill or spirit, whichever you want to roll. You can add that to Nasa's roll.
Yeah, I will use my scope.
Okay.
And oh, you know what? I'll use my scope and my camera to take pictures, and then I'll show everyone else what they think of interesting places.
All right. Add a die for that.
Oh, fuck yeah. 8 dice? Let's go. Where is another
That's a
D6?
cool thing that you can do. You just have like cool stuff that you make.
Dude, I have a jetpack, I have a railgun. I have boots that don't affect the grass.
So cool.
Alrighty. And with this, I don't think this. Actually, no, because this is technically discovery. Would I get a divine dice for this?
Yeah.
It's dope. Cool. Ooh. All right. 6 successes. Oh shit! My dice. Oh god. That almost fell off. All right. And a 5 on the divine.
Okay.
Wait. Before this might actually change it. 4 is a success now, right?
What is your
Didn't we say
follower
something
rate?
Like that? 3.
Okay, let me pull up the rule book. Should have done that first. You're following. Yep, 4 is a success for anybody who's got a following of 3 or more.
Yep, cool. Yeah. So yeah, 6. If it wasn't, it was going to be 4.
Okay. Cool. All right. Then, yeah. You just managed to turn Nasa's slip into a boost from both of you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. And now the environment turn. Let's see. Actually. All right, and then let's just do a blanket roll. Ooh. All right. That one. And then Jesus. All right. Cool. Now, Thome, what are you planning to do for this week?
Well, the first thing he wants to do, I don't know how long it's going to take, or if it's even possible, is to gather the party and have a discussion about what our intentions are in this war.
Okay. Then we'll say before the scouting stuff happens, before the whole influencing stuff with Eureka happens, you gather together the group.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
I do have to ask, does everyone show up?
Nessa shows up.
I'm there. Hi. I have the pictures.
We
Before.
haven't gone yet.
I'm
Oh.
considering
We don't got no
the
pictures.
possibility of Eureka not coming.
That's when I said, does everyone come? I meant, does Eureka come? So fair.
Okay, actually, can I try to like be there but hidden magically? Can I attempt to like basically not show up but like be present?
You can try. I do
She will
want you to
she will
know.
try and probably fail, but she will try.
Yeah, this will be a player roll of you against everyone else at the table.
Oh, absolutely.
So you can roll.
I'm excited for these consequences. Let's put it that
You
way.
can roll your spirit.
Okay.
Everyone else, whatever you would use for observation, I guess Nasa it would be spirit too, but for Thome and
Yeah.
Otto, it would probably be skill. Go
Like
ahead and
that.
roll it.
Can I use my talent battle sense?
Sure. Yeah, that works.
I get to use the wind.
So
Oh,
The wind
Holy
told
shit.
me you were there.
Okay.
I rolled really well.
I just got 3.
3 successes, or
Yeah.
okay.
You're not
Hey,
gonna believe me.
I also got 3, but I only had 3 dice, so
Nice.
Hey, nice.
So that's 6.
I have 3 failures, and then I used my divine dice because wind, and that's the only one that won. That's the only success was the divine dice.
Okay.
Jesus.
So that's 7.
I have 4.
Okay.
Man,
So you all gather.
wind is failing.
You all gather on the roof, for lack of a better word, of your Bastille. And the 3 of you, that is to say, Thome, Nasa, and Otto, are all visible and present. And all 3 of you, actually, because this is a boost, because Nasa got a divine die involved, you all notice and are aware that Eureka is there. However, Nasa's quick thinking sends a whisper on the wind to forestall your immediate reaction when you realize she's there, and allows you all to plan on how to react to her being there. So rather than this being a who reacts first situation, it is how do the 3 of you collectively react to the knowledge that Eureka is there but hidden.
How would Nasa react?
I think the smartest thing to do is to, at least for the start, pretend like she's getting her way.
Yeah.
Act
give
as
it
if
and
she
take her
isn't
away.
seen yet.
Do it.
Wonderful. We're all here.
Okay.
When you both show up, Thome offers a smile. I thought that after what happened, it would be good to touch base, as it were. I am far too aware of my faults to think that I might have come across the way I wished to the other day. He unhooks his sword and just kind of puts it in front of him. I think we need to discuss what we wish to come of this He then pauses. Turning of the tides, I'll say. I don't want to call it a war unless we all agree that we're going to war.
For now, this war is pretty cold at the. I think our best action should be to prepare for if another one of them show up.
Well, I don't mean. He scratches the back of his head and sighs. This is what all the other people were for. I'm really bad when it comes to this. I'm a great leader often. I can think of tactics quick. I am poor when it comes to trying to get emotions across. That thing didn't really suit me back in the day. I don't think we should speak of tactics yet. We can't devise a plan until all of our intents are easily laid bare. So we'll use what Otto said. I wish Eureka was here to answer this question. When another god shows up, and when Darius shows up again, what is the plan? Of course it's to probably defeat them in some way or make them retreat, but if we have the chance, are we to spare them over and over again until they eventually see their ways, or...
The last time I cast judgment on something, I was misled on the intentions of my companions. So to say that I wish that I could give them a chance over and over and over again to change their ways is what is the word? Hopeful thinking at best, and naivety at worst.
I believe that mercy is very unlikely in the future, but will always be the option if seen if there is an appropriate reasoning. I'm not sure what an appropriate reasoning will look like for these gods, but that's mainly what makes it unlikely. But I like to hope that maybe one or two can be reasoned with.
Do know that having hope is not a bad thing. And she's kind of directing this toward Eureka, but she also doesn't want Eureka to know that she knows that she's there. It is good to have hope that perhaps they will change their ways, but do keep in mind what they've already done to the humans of this earth, what we did to the humans of this earth.
Of course. That's why I consider it unlikely. And there will be just punishment for all of them. Whether it be complete death or not is up in the air.
I think it's best to decide exactly what we do with each one when the time arises. But overall, I say we at least give them a chance.
Thumb nods. So we choose mercy then. But not a fool's mercy, not mercy to those who will not show it to any others. Mercy to those who we can. Okay.
This brings up my next topic. This building kind of sucks.
He looks hurt.
I love
Immediately.
I'm very happy that you found this place, and it works as an amazing place
I agree.
for a little bit.
I moved.
It did
He like.
get- It did get semi-destroyed in the battle.
I thought it built character.
It's the character is very breakable, sadly.
He just sighs. Your words are more of a knife than honey, Otto. But I understand what you're saying.
I do not know what honey feels like, but I can assume it's soft.
Sticky and disgusting.
It was a metaphor. So, do you have an idea of where we should move next?
Not
Nothing
quite.
exactly, but I do
Alright.
plan to look around.
Then I will be joining you, if that is all right, Otto.
I was gonna ask you to join me anyways. After all, I can't traverse the sky and get as much distance as I can without you.
He grimaces.
What's wrong, Film? Do you not want to join us?
No,
And,
there is much to attend to here. I don't wish to ride your see-through cloud in the sky again.
I don't want to put my hand on Thom's shoulder. Like, this place is very wonderful for a start. But if we find a better place, and using the parts left to us with Jupiter, that was the robot's name, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Jupiter.
No, it was Saturn.
Was it
It's Jupiter now.
I thought it might have been Saturn. I named it after the Roman name for Zeus, which I'm pretty sure is Jupiter. I distinctly recall that.
Or that the big fucking robot.
I don't know.
But
I'll go
we
watch the
can-
VOD later. It doesn't matter.
we can use those parts to create better defenses.
I
And
trust in you, Otto.
weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Your trust goes very very far for me.
I hope that you both will report back with any findings you get on your excursion.
Of course, when I pull out a camera, you will see exactly what we see.
What is that?
We'll take a picture of them and then show it to him.
He stares at it. Did it capture my soul?
Not this time.
A terrifying device.
Truly.
Amazing. Okay. I assume the two of you leave for your scouting mission immediately?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Should. No, I don't think Nisa would even turn in that direction. She can feel. She can feel Eureka.
Yeah. I was
So she's
actually
not gonna
going to
even look in her
say,
direction.
after they're
That's-
gone, Thome, do you address Eureka?
Of course.
Thought so.
Once they leave, he moves away from the weapon he put on the. I'm going to refer to it as a table when I know well it is a concrete slab we found that I put down at one point.
Mhm.
And he moves away, so he is basically unarmed. As he sighs, when out loud, he simply states, "Was what we discussed satisfactory for you, Eureka?"
So you hear a very very like quiet little like baby shriek, and then a very comical like puff of glitter smoke, and then she's there.
He
Trying to like diffuse the tension, and
he
but
smiles
she looks a
because
little
that's
sullen.
God damn it, Eureka.
She looks a little sullen and is just
She's
I was
so
there, huh?
adorable.
And she sort of like pulls up a chair, aka sits on another smaller slab that got put there.
Thank you for humoring my table idea.
It's imaginary.
Although when she sits on it, it becomes a couch,
Oh.
and then she like kind of falls back on it.
Horrifying.
So he sits on the slab, right? Like a regular slab. Yours turns into a couch, and he looks at yours, looks down at his. Huh. Ah. So, about what we talked about.
I get that y'all are upset. Y'all do know I care about the safety of everybody, right?
He nods.
I know I was literally born yesterday, but I wasn't like born yesterday, you know? It
I
just kind
understand.
of waits. um I know that realistically people are gonna die. I know that. I don't like it. But I do think if we're going to make something better, it has to start with a better foundation than what came before. And if we just decide that those who caused hurt and death and destruction on a mass scale in a way that would be irredeemable to most people, oh fuck. You get my point. If we just do that to them, the cycle's repeating. We can call it justice all we want, but they called it justice. They call it justice now. I think there's a difference between taking a life and having a life be decided. Our encounter the other day, I know he was filled with rage. He hates humanity. He hates
They.
us. Or they hate us because we love humanity. It's a cycle. But that was also our first time really being near them and them being near us. Who knows what could have happened? And at the end, yes, they were gonna die, but it wasn't gonna be by our hands at the end of the day. We still fought, they still lost. But they could have just gone peacefully had things been different. I think that's different than claiming the life ourselves. I don't want everyone to think that I expect this to end with no death and no sacrifice. I know that we're going to be taking lives, but we need to make sure we're doing it the right way. And she just kind of disappears into the silence.
Because Eureka, I have to ask, does she actually vanish, or is she
No.
just okay?
No,
Cool. I
just
have
sort
to
of,
ask. It's Eureka.
sort of just sort of hangs in the quiet.
A moment goes as like a soft chuckle escapes his lips, and he covers his hand. You remind me a lot of someone else I knew. That's a compliment. I think. Take it as a compliment.
Okay.
I think maybe I was thinking too much of the battle and not of honor. They lost. An execution might not have been warranted. How about this? A god's power comes from worship. If they are defeated on a grander scale with people who to watch, the fear in that person wavers and admiration goes to the victor. That could be a way of stripping them of their power. I want to find a middle ground. Except for one of them. He gets very serious and looks down. I want mercy. I hope you can believe that. There is one who does not deserve it. Sarkuth, god of destruction and suffering.
Why?
They kill wanton and hurt whoever they can come across. It goes against who I am, not just godly, as a man.
And do you know why they do it?
He shakes his head.
Have they ever told you why they do it?
If the day I met you was the day I entered this realm. I don't know much about this world, but from what I've heard about this person, when we come across each other, there probably will be no talking. It'll come to blows, or I will die immediately.
She sort of looks at him and looks down. And then kind of looks into the middle distance, thinking of what to say. As long as you know that's still a choice you made.
He nods. I don't expect anyone to help me if it comes to it.
Why wouldn't we help you? You have
Because I would
friends.
never ask you to do something you don't believe in.
You seem very determined about a thing that hasn't happened yet. Have you ever wondered, what if that isn't what happens when you meet? And she kind of looks at him.
He shakes his
Doe-eyed.
head. I, usually when I make up my mind, it's sort of, that's it.
She kind of steps up and she starts dusting off her pants, and you wonder why, because she was
Oh,
just on a
God.
couch, and then you look and it's a slab again, and she's like, she does not like not in a hostile way, but she's just sort of like getting up and getting ready to move. She starts heading to the door, but she stops and kind of like turns her head. For a human god, you kind of lack imagination. And she walks away. And not in a mean way, and just
No,
in
no,
a
in a
very teasy way, and just kind of, and it walks away like in good spirits. Like her vibes are good vibes.
well, that went a lot better than anticipated.
So, with the meeting adjourned, what is Thome going to do on a tactics scale this week?
Looks at my notes. Find a horse is still there.
Sorry, buddy, you're not getting that horse.
Fight
Why
me.
not? Why can't he? I'll give you my boots. Take my
I wanna-
funny boots and go
I
find a
don't want your
horse.
funny boots. I want a damn horse.
No, listen.
No.
You can go find a horse without setting off the fucking grass.
Fair enough.
With these
Nasa
boots.
like offers you a
Um,
cloud. She's like, you could go
To
find
be
a horse better
fair,
if you were
Thome
on a
is
cloud.
probably the easiest. Thome is probably the one person among you that really doesn't need to worry about setting off Phoenix. He has an anti-magic sword.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Like, it's gonna be real hard for anybody to sense him.
Thome is going to convene with some of the what were their names? Like our champions.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
see if there's a place around that has a large gathering of people.
Currently, I
Head
believe.
there for recruitment.
Currently, I believe, if I recall correctly, the names are Rowan for Nasa's,
Yeah.
Marcus for yours,
Yep.
Thome, and Takrios for Eureka's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. And you're gonna try to find a large what now?
A large, the largest I can find in not too far of a distance, a congregation of people, and go for recruitment.
Okay. So you are also doing the influencing in your own way. Go ahead and roll aura.
Can I add noble to this?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Does this fall into honor?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
I think so. It's
Fuck
something
yeah.
enough people would gravitate to. It's a concept that
Ooh.
would draw a lot of people.
3 successes and a success on the divine die.
Let's
Nice,
go!
nice. I think that's a
Do that.
boost.
We picked the right dice for our divine dice, guys.
So I want to be clear that it's going to take a while for you guys to actually reach the next level of following. But these will add to your forces on a tactical scale.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I come across a horse at any point, let me know.
God, I love him.
All right.
We're gonna become ultimate gods, and you're gonna find a horse at the last minute of the last session.
He will be so happy. He misses his old horse.
Yeah.
I think it's him in a Pegasus.
But it flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is he
Nah.
really afraid of flying?
He's afraid of
Yeah.
falling.
He's afraid of falling.
All
Don't
right.
worry, Nace will catch you, even if she's reluctant.
So, to start, Nasa and Otto, you go on a scouting mission.
He's in your.
Yeah.
You got 2 boosts. So, your main priority, as I understand it, is to find somewhere to move.
Mm-hmm.
A better fortress. Okay. You are going to find that, plus 2 very important pieces of information.
Oh shit. Okay, let me get my notes then.
Now, what I want to ask you... Well, actually, you kind of have to stay on this continent if you're going to... I mean, I guess you could go to South America instead of North. But that would be a hell of a trek, especially from where you're at. I know exactly what you find. As you are traveling across the skies, moving at speeds no human being could ever manage, clouds travel far faster than any vehicle. You pass over many cities, many long stretches of rural landscapes of now overgrown fields of wheat. You even see several herds of cattle, of horses, of roaming animals. Um, and then you spot something the two of you know immediately by sight. Something that Otto knows was infamous as the most unbreakable fortress in the history of man. Something Nasa remembers as the one place she couldn't break into.
Oh.
You arrive at Fort Knox.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting for you to say the Alamo or something. I was like, no.
I
No.
thought you were gonna say fucking Area 51.
No, 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 no. No. Literally the icon of overwhelming force. Go ahead, come on.
Yeah.
You know where the gold is. Come on, steal it. See what happens.
Oh yeah.
Mind
So-
you, many of its defenses, the guns, the missiles, the tanks, are ruins.
Oh yeah, well.
They
What-
have
Otto can
been
fix that.
precisely. But the buildings remain stable. And the underground portion, you know, remains stable. It'll be a trek, for certain. There will be a long travel. Fort Knox isn't exactly right next to New York, but
Yeah.
you know where it is. You know that it stands. You can make use of it.
Mm-hmm.
Along the way, you do discover a few things. I want each of you to choose one of the 5 members of the Plumerian Pantheon. You will get a piece of information relating to the god you choose. That is your boost here.
Oh sure.
Okay, we can choose what?
One member of the Plumerian Pantheon, and you will learn an important piece of information regarding the member that you choose.
Weeps.
Okay. So, do you choose Weeps? Who do you choose, Otto?
Fuck. Since we saw him and they're scary, don't know a lot of information about them. I guess Heism.
The one who wakes. Understood. Nesa.
Si, senor.
As you recall, Fort Knox was impenetrable in many different ways, including the weather. The buildings themselves were able to withstand so many rainy seasons. You have no doubt that Minora's water has not reached this portion. Her tears do not stretch down here. But the more you think about it, the more surprised you are that your forces were even able to stand against her. She has had well over a century for her tears to seep into the water supply.
Mm-hmm.
They moved not just through your clouds, but through rivers, through lakes. And the water cycle doesn't end once it has been ingested. It continues. Her tears are everywhere, and inside everyone.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that. Oh, I'm so upset.
So why are your troops still alive? It's You can think of several explanations for this. The most obvious being she simply chose not to. Minora is and has always been a very emotional person. Even she probably dislikes the idea of ripping apart the lungs of humanity from the inside. But that doesn't sit right with you. You think that controlling her tears from such a far distance and in such a specific manner as to eliminate a few humans is more difficult than she lets on. That without her personal presence, she can't do more than make someone sick. Because that fluid is already in motion. And you know from experience, by manipulating the winds, by manipulating the clouds, it took a long time for you to get used to manipulating that which is already being manipulated.
Oh,
An object in motion stays in motion.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, cowboy.
Mm-hmm. You have learned a little bit about how to counteract her. A little bit more about how to make this work. And it's a good thing that you keep your troops training, because that fast pumping blood may be their salvation if ever you encounter a Minora.
Mm-hmm.
Otto. In examining Fort Knox, you locate a mound of gold. A very large mound of gold. The gods, the Plumerian pantheon, would have had no use for it. It'll be an effective conductor, and you can already start thinking of many different ways in which to use it. And during your plans, you start to recall pieces of your memory banks that you hadn't put too much thought into before. Considerations about what exact elements would be the most useful for you at this current time. How effective some of, like, where those elements might be and how to extract them. And you recall Jupiter, and you recall the weapon that it wound up using. You recall that atomic bomb. And you recall that there are only a few very volatile elements in the world that can be used to create one. And you start thinking of how one would even extract it. The humans today do not have the technology to safely recover such elements, especially the most active ones, such as plutonium or uranium. They're so volatile, you would need ventilation equipment, you would need drills, you would need plenty of safety equipment. Otherwise, they would die within minutes, maybe seconds for some. Unless, of course, they were already dead. And you think about how few, in comparison to the population of the old world, the populations that have been culled in the decades since its fall, the army that you had fought so recently actually was. 300,000. out of a planet populated by over 8 billion people. Where are the rest? What are they doing? You think you just put together a piece of that puzzle. One nuclear bomb was bad enough. You don't think they're stopping at just one. Congratulations! You basically just found out Eisen's plan for annihilating the human race.
Bro, he's making the Fallout games come true.
And
Oh, fuck,
he's
not again.
using necromancy to do it.
That's fucked.
Ah, boy. You'll be able to do some calculations on the side for how long it might take in terms of production. Once you have a few more pieces to that puzzle. Right now, in terms of that particular plate, you're looking for the where, and there are a lot of other supplies necessary for that creation. You already are certain that Derise is helping him with it. So really, the where is a very important facet, and also how much has already been done is a biggie. So, our scouting party has their information. Let's move on to our influencers, shall we? Eureka! You... The best place to approach the creative and the imaginative is in dreams. So that is where you look. You spend several nights flitting from dream to dream, attempting to rouse the people, to alert them to the lack of risen on the continent, to tell them that they have an avenue, an opportunity, a place to go. But those dreams that you find, they're not always another person's. Sometimes you find yourself back in the void, where you see the dead souls of the risen trapped within Eisen's shadow. You recall something you had said to Thome one of these nights. That it is not... that there is a difference between a life that is lost and a life that is taken. On these nights, with these people, wailing and pleading for mercy, people who starved to death, people who bled to death, people who were killed, and people who simply got sick. You know there is no difference. Whether one is killed or simply lost. So long as the longest shadow walks the earth, they all share the same torturous end. And perhaps the most crushing piece of it all is that there's the very real possibility all of this suffering can only end with another death. When you are able to converse with the humans, when you are able to reach into their dreams, they're not receptive. Not most of the ones that you find anyway. There are going to be the oddball or stranger, someone who feels like they don't belong in their settlement. And they do feel more of a kinship with you, and you with them. Especially after what's recently happened in your own life. But for so many of them, all you can find is this devotion to that which is killing them, that which robs them of an afterlife. Some of them seem happy, grateful, see their torture as an attempt of redemption for crimes they themselves did not commit, for crimes committed by people long dead, and who have long since served their torturous time. You have been garnering a decent degree of respect and admiration throughout the world, at least throughout your area of it. But in exploring the dreamscape of humanity, you find just how vast Eisen's influence has grown.
Oh boy.
So, you bring as many of you bring the champions, you bring several others to seek out groups of people. You give rousing speeches, playing to the pride inherent in humanity, and questioning their loyalty to gods that are not loyal to them. The first town you go to, one of the most devout followers of the Plumerian pantheon before you takes out a knife and attempts to slit his throat, attempts to give his life to the pantheon, to bleed for Sarkuth. How do you stop him?
With like as fast as his body will move, he would descend upon the person, grabbing the knife, like grabbing the blade of the knife in his hand, and just putting a hand on the person, looking them dead in the eyes. This is not the way. A god would never ask you to do this.
And what, pray tell, would your supposed lordship demand of his followers? If not sacrifice and blood, how else can we atone for our sins?
Be human. Take care of those around you. Protect those who can't protect themselves. If you're strong enough to bring a knife to your throat, you're strong enough to protect someone else.
The man, after several seconds of prolonged staring, finds tears in his eyes. You learn later that he had lost his mother last year to a plague. He had bled and bled himself in prayers to the one who rides the fabled source of torturous demise, begging him to spare her. All this time he had believed that he had not bled enough, had not prayed enough, was not faithful enough to save her. With time, he will learn medicine. He will become a doctor. And he will save more lives than anyone in the current age could. Any mortal man, in any case. Similar stories assail your ears as you travel. Moving through one town then another. It's only a week. You're not able to hit many. There's a lot of space between them. But during your travel, you do find just how deeply entrenched the suffering given to humanity by the Plumerian Pantheon truly is. How deep their sorrow lies. And as you ponder this pain, you find yourself in a verdant field. When you walk towards the next town, you are stopped short in your journey by the clopping of hooves. You are shocked to find that they survive to the modern day. You were certain that after so long, all of them would have gone extinct, lost to time. Perhaps they did, and perhaps it is only in this most dreadful of days that they have returned to the world. In your mournful, hopeful state, you find yourself face to face with a majestic unicorn. It gallops toward you and stops feet from your person, as if drawn by your regal bearing. Even in your time, these creatures were rare. They showed for pure maidens of great generosity. they showed for admirable princes of great courage. And sometimes found their way to honorable knights of high nobility. How do you regard this creature as its beady black eyes, deep as the void itself, stare into yours?
He makes a motion, like his open palm towards the people he's with, and takes a small step forward and offers it a bow. Hand across chest. Hello, noble creature.
The the elegant beast pulls back a hoof and bows its head to you. And its horn glows. For decades, I have felt little in the air of sympathy, of kindness. Yet you feel compassion for a people you do not know. I felt it necessary to meet you, to understand. I am Elenia, either the last or perhaps the first of the unicorns. Noble warrior, why do you fight for these people?
He stares in awe for a second. Why do I fight? That question has been asked to me countless times. And if I were to be honest, I think every time I've answered differently. But he looks back at his people. What I want to say to you is why ask the question at all? Do I truly need a reason to protect those I see as family?
Elenia blinks. I have memories. Memories that tell me I am to be a peaceful creature. One that does not seek conflict. One that does not wish for death or destruction. That when I and my fellows are to die, it is to be a tragedy, a mournful experience. Something to rob a killer of their soul and the world of innocence. At this point, I see no innocence left in this world. And I see no use in allowing myself and these people to suffer and die For a reason so vain as this. Your cause. It is just. With your permission, I would like to aid it.
The biggest smile crosses his face. His eyes sparkle as like a kid who sees the new toy he's wanted forever. And then he coughs as he has to remember he's leading a war band right now. It would be an honor for you to ride beside us.
It pulls back its hooves in like a triumphant neigh and gallops around you and then to stand beside you as an equal. You have now obtained a steed, Elenia, first and last of her name.
Congratulations, you got your horse, buddy.
I need Otto to make me the saddle ASAP.
Quite literally
A
the
real
last
good
unicorn.
saddle. The last unicorn.
All right.
What are your
Not
thoughts
me
on
singing that to
guns on the
myself
saddle?
entire what?
Dome doesn't like guns. I really don't know how to use one. Remember, you made a railgun and I punched it.
You did punch my
Are you
railgun.
gonna teach me to use a gun? Because then we'll talk about it.
Dude, don't tempt me.
But like, he's gonna be like, I don't like this. He'll throw the gun at people.
You would.
Oh my
And then I'll
god.
ask you why it didn't explode like the other one.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll make you fucking gauntlets that work like a gun.
Fair enough.
You just described Doomfist.
Dude,
For real.
But on a unicorn.
I was thinking more Yang from Ruby, but that works.
Yeah, I think this would happen. Whew. During this week, or rather, I suppose more at the end of it, you all would notice a few things. One, Nasa and Otto, on your way back to base to relay what you have found, you fly over a forest that was not there before.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
And it
Uh-oh.
and it's placed
Uh-oh.
it is placed on the direct path of travel between your current base and Fort Knox.
They fucking knew. Oh god.
you think they were gonna let us take over the best base in the fucking country?
I know,
What?
but listen,
Mm-hmm.
I can hope. I
Mhm.
can dream, Harold.
Yep.
There's very few dreams here.
During
Literally looks at
your
the embodiment of dreams.
during your escapade through people's dreams, Eureka, you find that most of those who are asleep are restless in a very sickly sort of way. Like they're worried if they sleep too long, they won't wake up. And you recall a lot of self-harm across the many towns that you guys have already seen. Your assumption is that there's even more personal bleeding going on than usual this week. And
Like in the surrounding areas.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
And Thome, on your way back, on one of the nights when you and your followers are resting, you feel a disturbance at the edge of your camp. Do you investigate?
Of course.
You stand from your resting place and have a look. You come to the edge of a tree line. And as you look around, sword in hand, or hand on your hilt, you feel the presence that's more of an spread uneasiness coalesce behind you. Your instincts are sharp enough. I'm not even going to have you roll for this. You whirl around, draw your sword, and have this creature, person, whoever, blade to their throat as she holds her hands up, and you recognize the weeping form of Minora.
What?
He stares for a second.
I wish to speak. Only to speak.
He pulls the sword and stabs it in the ground in between them, looking almost pissed. He then steps towards her and puts his hands on her shoulders. I am so sorry you were left alone for so long, Winora. Why didn't you tell me it was you when you let me out?
I...
Sorry.
The peak.
I was afraid. When you saw what would happen, what had happened, I knew your reaction would not be ideal. And I thought that if the tears falling down her face flow a little faster, that if you knew I had chosen to take part, you would hate me.
Would it come? He, he pulls off from her and runs a hand through his hair, staring at her. What brought you to this moment? Back then, this wasn't.
After you were sealed, others followed. I was one of them. Many were forced into their own personal hells. Prisons not meant to take in such power. Some got places of relative reverence, shrines, churches, artifacts. But the sorrow that lay in your wake, when the God King fell, humanity wept. And I wept with them. I was the only god left that Caradon was afraid of. And there was only one prison strong enough to hold me. She looks to the sky. And in particular, she looks at the moon. I thought that I was so terrified that the weeping would only grow stronger when I was gone. I thought surely the people must drown. What happened was so much worse. They forgot me. They forgot both of us. The only ones who remember you are the gods. Immortal beings who have been around for eons. You fought so hard for them. You died for them. And you killed so many for them. I wept for every death. I made sure every one of them was honored, cared for. And how did they reward me? They left me behind. When future generations stared at the moon and saw my face, they thought of me as a man. They saw the tears that I was crying and thought it was a smile. They perverted my very image. I wept and wept, enough for the very tides to move. I still cared for them. I still felt for them. I adored them. I wanted them to be happy. So much of me was relieved, and yet I felt so pained. But I refused to accept it. I held that anger until they abandoned other gods, refused to even evoke their names, focused on one, and wouldn't even speak his name. And during all of that time, they never stopped killing. They had so many opportunities to seek peace, to make the just, kind world that I'd always wished for. And what did they do with that time? How did they choose to spend their lives? Greedily, hungrily, stealing, lying, cheating, embodying all of the tenets that he taught them, that your slayer taught them. You ask me how I came to be this? How it came to me culling them like the animals they are? I am here to ask you, how can you stand to support them without having heard your name uttered once?
It's not my place to be praised. They're young, Minora.
They are not! They are thousands of years old, and they still have yet to learn!
Then we have to teach. It's not easy. It never was, and it never will be. But are you telling me, looking around you now, that this is what they deserve?
One cannot teach those who do not wish to learn. And if they're comfortable, wasting away in their delusions, if they accept the lots that they force onto one another in life, if they would not rebel against each other, threats that can easily be killed, perhaps the only way to teach them is through suffering. When they will not seek the carrot, one must brandish the stick.
Though we both were sealed, yours was far worse a fate than mine. I am sorry I was not around to protect you from it. But he reapproaches her. I am here now. We can make this world better.
You're right. We can, Thome. But let's assume that you do manage to placate us, that your mercy works, and when it doesn't, that you are able to eradicate the threats. Let's assume for all the impossible, incredible, astronomical chances and dreams in your heart, that you are able to kill Sarkuth Ran, that you are able to slay death itself. What then? What world will you build? If you cannot tell me a better way, then what right do you have to tell me wrong? We cannot just leave them to their own devices. Look how that turned out. They've learned too much from his example. How would you teach them?
He sighs. Well, as you would know, I used to be a bit rowdy back in the day. This is attempt at levity. But how I would attempt to teach them? Well, it wouldn't be me alone. The time for God Kings is over. We need a group effort. Someone who oddly understands how the human psyche works. Someone who is perhaps more human than the mortals. He nods. It will take time. It'll take effort. And I do not know if I'll survive all of it. But at some point, his teachings can be overwritten. And that spark, the first thing we saw when we got here the first time, can reignite. They can be inherently good again. They just need someone to light the way.
I'm reminded of how you became a king in the first place. When I hear you speak of redemptions and change, I almost believe it's possible. But I am not that little girl anymore, Thome. I don't think I will ever be again. I once wept for the pain humanity suffered. Now I weep for the pain of the planet they live on. And I think more than anything, I weep out of frustration for the fact that after all this, they're still here. Perhaps Eisen is right. Being able to see what they've done may have been a curse, but I'm beginning to think it was a blessing. I'm not like you. For what it's worth, there is a part of me that wonders what that group effort will look like. We shall see if it comes to fruition.
I wish you would join me, Minora.
And I you. But I don't think that I could cry enough tears to wash away what they've done. May you be at peace. For as long as you still live. And with that, she will sink into water and rain. How long does Thome stand there?
Thome probably puts his weight on his sword that was stabbed in the ground, letting its magic, I guess, wash over him. Familiar feeling in this unfamiliar time. Sigh, probably wait a few minutes, and then walk back.
You all reconvene and share your information. I'm going to give you guys some time to talk tactics and stuff, revise situations and things. We are going to end the session very soon, but I do just want to give you guys some time to air shit out.
The first thing he does, and I mean frame one, once we're basically back at the base is hop on his unicorn, go as fast as humanly possible, get in, and literally yell, "Eureka! Get down here!"
She wakes up. She was definitely not snoring.
Yep. No. Why would she?
Oh, definitely.
No.
Imagine sleeping.
Imagine sleeping. Yeah.
Imagine taking a nap. Couldn't be me.
Imagine sleep. I want to sleep.
All right, I know you're like serious. You're a serious person. You're being very serious right now.
He's like kneels down and then like with both hands motions to the goddamn unicorn. It's a unicorn. She's a unicorn. I wouldn't say it. She has a name.
Yeah. What? Unicorns aren't real? What?
They're
What's wrong
real.
with unicorns?
No,
He looks healthy.
they're real.
Yeah, I know
She's
that.
my steed.
Nice, cool.
I thought you'd be a lot more. I thought you of all people would match my excitement.
I mean, I'm okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for you. It's a unicorn.
Is Otto here? Otto will be happy for me.
Otto like comes down. He's like, "My goodness,
Uh,
this is a strange amount of whimsy coming from you, though."
Are unicorns? Is that weird?
He like rushes up to
Is it
her,
like
like
the wrong climate, or
he like puts his hands on her shoulders and shakes a little. He goes like, "They're incredibly rare. There's like two." Looks
they're
back
like
at her. Looks back at Eureka. Perhaps one, actually.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Nate's
Fuck
gonna
you.
her little cloud and say, "What is going on down here? There's a
Great
lot of
movie.
loud commotion."
Apparently
name's
unicorns are
Elenia, right?
special or something.
Yep, Elenia.
This is Elenia. The first and last of her name, Unicorn.
Oh.
Nasa, these creatures were extinct for millennia, last you checked.
I'm not sure I believe you, though I can't exactly see it with my own eyes. She raises her hand to like feel around in the air.
Elenia quietly and calmly presses her horn into your hand. Not like the tip.
My hand
No, not the tip, not the tip, not the tip. Just
just the tip. Understood.
Like your hand is like this, it goes like boop, boop.
Oh. She's just like kind of frozen for a second, like feeling the horn against her palm and says,
"Yeah?
Either this is a cruel joke, or she like follows the horn down to touch the actual unicorn. Oh.
Eureka will be like, oh, wait, hold on. Did she have a title? I think you mentioned a title.
The first and last of her name.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And she turns to the unicorn and does like a fake curtsy. Khaleesi. And just kind of goes about her day.
This through like magic, the telepathy thing. Elenia is like, I have not heard this term before. I enjoy it.
Question.
Yeah,
Would telepathy work with me?
You're able to think, so sure.
Okay, cool. The Otto is like has a book out and is like recording everything. And is like, "Do you speak, mystical creature?"
Effectively huffs.
No. Nasa turns to them and says, "Where did you find her?"
She found me.
There weren't any before I was.
Well, yes, they're very good at hiding.
Was it just that they were hiding, or were we?
No, they
sure
were dead.
They were extinct. Oh, we were certain.
They were straight up dead. 100%. Um,
No,
the
Thom, I
the
don't.
magic, like I've mentioned before, humanity's development of science to the degree that they had done, and with the pollution that they had excelled or expelled, destroyed genuine magic. There were no magical creatures. There were no dragons.
Jesus Christ.
And that's what Nace is gonna explain to him. She's like, "No, Thom, I don't think you quite understand the words that I'm saying. They did not exist anymore. They were gone. There was no. It is impossible for them to, for her to even
Huh. Well, she said she
Richard.
felt.
How
The lessening of worldly corruption has allowed a greater freedom of magical evolution. It's you ask almost as if sorry. It is almost the question you ask is similar to the question of how horses came to be in the first place.
it's only been decades, hasn't it?
Apparent with a nay, she says, "That is why I cannot yet tell if I am the first or the last. Whether
I
this is a return to the way that the world once was, or simply its last dying gasp."
Nasa like retracts her hand almost as if it's been burned and like steps not steps away but like glides away. I I need to go. And then
What?
just into the sky.
We have much to discuss. All right. Well. Um. Huh. This was not This is not what I was expecting.
Well, even though it's supposed to be impossible, I'm happy you're here, pretty unicorn.
And I am happy you are here, handsome tin man.
Thank you.
Yo.
The first time I've been called handsome.
Okay.
One of the
Well,
most beautiful creatures in existence called you handsome. How do you feel?
Dude, I'm a new man.
um, so unless there is something urgent that your characters feel they need to bring up, it is 11 p.m. and I have to wake up early tomorrow.
Gotcha.
I think we're going to call our session here. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you all in our audience so much for tuning in tonight. This has been, as always, a wonderful time. The what is it? The Hand That Thieves. This lovely campaign of Dethrone the Divine, which is a wonderful system you should absolutely look up regarding the existence of gods and their attempts to overthrow one another, has been played for you by my good friend Vern as Nasa, who you can find her Twitch links down in the description below. My other good friend Neba,
Hello.
playing Eureka. You can find her stream links down there as well. an additional friendly monster creature thing, Salty. Playing as Otto Sinclair. You can find their links down there. And Strange Enigma Nil.
Yeah.
That's a frog.
Playing as Thome, who doesn't have any affiliated links, but he's a cool dude. Just, I don't know, post dog pics on Blue Sky and at me with them so I can send them to him.
Yo.
Yo.
Hell yeah. And I have been your wonderful rendition of Fate's Hand, Jordan. As you all know, you got my socials, you're on my channel. And we will see you all as soon as we can. We are going to be running these sessions weekly now to try to wrap stuff up, speed things along to make up for our absence. Whenever we're not able to run these particular sessions, we're going to be playing Monster Hearts 2 with whoever manages to be present at the given time. A bit of a rotating cast situation there. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this battle develops. Thank you all once again for playing with me this week, guys. And thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful week. Peace!
Bye-bye.